All right. Good morning. And really, what a
Talk
day.
about a botched intro, Captain.
That's what happens when you accidentally press pause twice. Yeah.
Let me just do my button up. Oh, wait, where's the other button? Oh, no. There's your joke for this morning for you American folks. And thanks for having me on, Captain.
Oh, you're welcome. How are you doing this morning?
I am
This
fine.
afternoon?
My attempts to comb my hair have failed. But today's a good day. I'm planning on making a few videos today. One I should have done yesterday on Houston, courtesy of Keely Chow. And another video I plan to do, another suggestion video, from Gorilla's Random Thoughts on the loser Liz Cheney, who lost her primary in Wyoming. One rhino down, many more to go.
Oh, that's that. Speaking of which, because I see you do a lot of suggestion videos.
Sure.
Suggested by. Where do people usually make suggestions to you?
Oh, comments. Sometimes on Twitter, but mostly in YouTube comments.
So yes, people, we actually do read the comments.
Yes.
Believe it or not. Sometimes I like the comments. Sometimes I'm going, oh, I wish I could turn that comment off. But
If you don't like a comment, Cap, just put question mark.
Okay.
And then enter, and then it goes away. Or you can just love it and not say anything. Don't give it a like. Don't give it a like, but love it.
Oh.
Yes, I am Captain MAGA. Can't you tell? I look like a right-wing Michael Moore. I'm like, when you think of a conservative, folks, you don't think of long hair, beard, glasses. I look like a shoddy version of Vosh. That's what I look like. I don't know if you know that creator, Captain. He, in the past, he used to do his hair back like this, and his fringe was dying like I am. But then he changed his hairstyle, probably because I could do it better. And he's got a better fringe. Still has the glasses, weird brown hair, that sort of thing. So, how have you been? I mean, the last time we spoke, you were called Captain Track.
Well, this is true.
That's how long it's been, folks. Scheduling, the greatest enemy of a live streamer or a content creator.
Yeah. Oh, that's the funny thing. I have been talking to a few people, and that's the problem: figuring out scheduling for when they can come on.
I mean, step one, folks, engaging with creator. Step two, positive relations, hopefully. Step three, arranging a meeting. Step four, timing, which has been difficult for me because I usually appear on shows from 2 p.m. all the way up to 3 a.m. on some shows. But in the morning and early afternoon, that's usually when I'm not available. If I was available, I'd be speaking to this man day after day. I can do it on Sunday, but I don't think he does a show on Sunday. Do you do a show?
I don't. No. I had been for a long time. In fact, there was a point I was doing it 7 days a week, and it's like, yeah, this is going to stop.
I mean, that kind of consistency for a live streamer, even if it's an hour a day, folks, It's insane. How Loki can do it 5 days a week, I never know. I mean, I make lots of videos, Cap, and especially recently with the new upgrades, it does take longer. But live streaming is way more difficult than being a content creator, folks, and the subscribers are harder to get, in my view.
Absolutely. That's the funny thing. I at one point was going, oh, okay, I want to get subscribers. I want to get subscribers. And it's going, no, I want to have fun.
Ideal if you can do both. I mean, there are some times, Cap, when I have a schedule of 5, 6, 7 videos. Sometimes it's even as high as 9. But sometimes when you get to near the end of the day, you're on video 6 and you've just done 6 and you've got 1 or 2 to go. You're like, I really don't want to do this, but promises made, promises kept, and you just push on through.
I have noticed that you have certain videos that are including bloopers.
Yes. That it was interesting, Cap, because at the start I would just have another take and do it again. Then I realized, no, this is wasted material. People might like this. So I thought I'd take these bloopers and they'd be their own videos. But as a result, it took longer to make the normal videos for the schedule. So then I decided, just keep them in. I mean, it saves time. It saves time, and it could be funnier for the audience. So win-win.
Absolutely.
That's why I was in 2 minds about the upgrades. Because they make the channel, I think, especially the start of the videos, the intros with the copyright-free music. I'm going to turn that into a song one day. But you got the intros, then you got the voiceover and the edits. It takes longer to make videos compared to me simply speaking to you and making a thumbnail. But then I thought, maybe quality is best over quantity. But I'm a content creator and you're a live streamer. So it's like comparing apples with oranges. Although I would like to say that, folks, to get nearly 800 subscribers in 2 years for a live streamer is a great achievement. And that is what Captain Fandom Nerd has achieved. Hopefully, by the end of the year, he can get to 1,000. If not, 1,000 will be his target for 2023.
Absolutely. It's funny because I've gotten several shout outs from bigger channels. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've, gotten to this point. Because, you wouldn't think that Doomcock would be shouting me out, but he has several times. And so it's always much appreciated when somebody does.
Yes, I mean, without Tyrone Magnus, ladies and gentlemen, I've told this story many times. Without him sharing my thoughts on him, this channel would not be where it is today, and it wouldn't have given me the impetus to keep on going. So it's always nice when more prominent, influential creators boost smaller, up-and-coming channels. And that's what we need to do, in my view, now more than ever. That's why Rising Stars is a thing on the channel, is aid one another, communicate with one another, share our respective audiences, and hopefully attract more and more people to watch as this great big coalition that welcomes everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
I talked about this a little bit backstage, but one of the 3 biggest problems as a creator: scheduling, factionalism, and ghosting. Yes, those are the 3 big problems, folks. And that's the danger of building a massive coalition. The danger is it could fracture into several factions that work for their own ends, which is a shame. but it does happen because you get so many people, and scheduling makes it more difficult. And as a result of not being able to schedule people, some creators are going to fall through the cracks, and it leads to ghosting. Now, if I can remember, ghosting means not responding to someone when you responded positively to them, I think.
Basically, yeah.
So they're all three big problems, and if they all come on you one after the other, you become very cynical and very annoyed, and you want to vent. And when you vent publicly, it does lead to potential backlash and also more factionalism, because you now have creators who are hostile to one another. In my view, that's not necessary. We all have one common foe, the establishment, mainstream entertainment media, who are ruining our stories, and we should all rally around one another in common ground as a result of that common foe, at least in my view.
And yes, Ego Rider says basically ghosting is ignoring people and just pretending you didn't get the message.
Yes, yes. Thank you for reminding me of that, Eagle Rider. Though, how many rising stars are we at? 192 publicly. In terms of my schedule, we're up to 212. So
Wow.
I've still got 20 to make. But it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because that's this coalition that I keep talking about. It's not formal or anything. It's just fellow creators that talk about similar stuff who are on the rise.
So what gave you the idea to start making these videos?
Oh,
Rising Stars.
Tyrone Magnus, when he shared my thoughts, shared my video giving my thoughts on him, thanks to that, I went from 79 to 279 subscribers in 2 days, and I managed to grow as a result of a bigger creator supporting a smaller creator. So I thought, well, if he can do that, I can look for creators who have started off well, or who have good content but don't have big viewership or big subscribers. And, well, I was thinking for a name, and I thought Rising Stars. And that's how it came to be.
I actually like that.
And I thought it would be a good way to promote fellow creators who do share similarities, although there are differences as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in my view, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I keep talking about coalition. We are all cogs in a machine that opposes the establishment. And whether we're big names, small names, we need all the help we can get, because YouTube, Twitter, all the other mainstream social media, they're going to purge the big names. I'm sure they're going to get rid of folks like Gary, Az, Doomcock, Jeremy, especially Ryan Cannell, with all of his controversy. I'm surprised he hasn't been banned already. Other big names as well. Did I say Doomcock? Yeah, they'll probably ban him too. They're going to get rid of the big names. So in my view, they're going to ban me soon. I'm sure of it. But in my view, we should all promote one another, and we can all grow to, I think, take their place. Then we get banned, then other people take our place, and so on and so forth. And we grow on alternative platforms and go from there, because we're in difficult times. We're in times of struggle. Inflation is through the roof. The economy's in tatters, not just in America, but across the West. Mm-hmm. And we need to speak up, speak our minds, and with those words, a foundation can be made for potential action. But we are running out of time. Although I don't know how long we have. We could have decades, or we could have days, for all I know.
Yeah. Decades, I don't think, but
Hmm.
definitely, yeah. It would be nice if we had decades.
I mean, when I say big is a relative term, because to some people, 10,000 is big, but to other people, 1,000,000 is big, but to some people, 100 million is big. Depends on your perspective.
True.
That's why we need all the help we can get. If you haven't started a channel, if you haven't spoken your mind or speak your mind, one of those terms. If you haven't spoken yet, speak. That's what I did in front of a camera with a script, and I managed to get to 650, 660 subscribers before changing to slideshows and fancy music and a nice flattering picture of me and a voiceover. So yeah. Hello everyone.
So what brought on that change? Yes, I know I've been horrible. I've been ignoring the entire chat, but we've been talking, and so
yes. Well, what prompted the change was lighting, and how it was affecting my eyes. That's why you haven't seen me on camera for a while. It would give me headaches. I'm only using one light now. It's this little one that I broke. Yeah, it was supposed to have a tripod, but I broke it. So I just put it on a bigger tripod thing. Let's make a blooper and show you. Look, a ring on a ring. What kind of ring, though? I don't know. But yes, it was due to lighting, basically. I didn't want these lights on in front of my face, causing me to get headaches. And I thought the software's free, and I could improve the channel. Oh no, what's wrong with my t-shirt? Oh yes, I used it to wipe stuff. You know, like I used bleach. That's why you can see certain white bits. It's bleach.
Well, that's one of the things that the camera is good about, is it's hiding most of it.
But I tell you this, though, Captain. What you do, morning show, I told this to Loki. I said, you could have Valhalla Plus, yourself at the start, then Loki's show, then Fat Steven with his games, and then maybe another streaming show. But that could be, you know, like a timeline, like you have on television. You have this show, then this show, and then this show. That's if creators organize themselves into coalitions. But
absolutely,
it's a fancy idea.
I'm all for that.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons that I go ahead and when it's about time for Loki to come on, I go ahead and end this stream and send people all over to Loki, because I want to support. I mean, I'm supporting the channel financially, not a huge amount, but you know what I can. But I'm a member, so it's like, why? You know, I want people to go over there.
Yes. You see, the biggest problem with working with fellow creators is the more people you bring into it, the less stable it gets. That's why coalitions, or factions, as they're also known, in my view, need to be loose, with very few rules and regulations, so that lots of people can work together. Of course, we're going to have disagreements, and we shouldn't just cut off relations at one site of disagreement.
But that's one of the things, unfortunately, I have seen, is that people will, you know, there's a slight disagreement, and it's like,
and
bye, I can't, you know, I'm not working with you anymore, type thing. Yeah.
I think it's a question of perspective. Certain creators can't see the big picture, what's going on in our world today, all the problems, and how we as creators could speak our minds and inspire others to do the same. And as we grow and get more organized, some kind of positive action can be taken. But for other creators, Captain, they see this as the foundation for a business. My personal view is this isn't a damn business. I don't expect to make money. In fact, I'm overdue to give my thoughts on donations and monetization, courtesy of Northern Lights, who suggested that I have a system in place to accept funds from people. Spoiler alert, folks, that's not going to happen, at least not anytime soon, because I want to be living proof. I want to prove a point that you can do what I'm doing for absolutely nothing, except for the cost of an internet connection, laptop, maybe some lights, and whatever I can get for free, such as the current software I'm using. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's not about making money. It's about proving a point. I know it's a difficult concept for Americans because, land of the free, freedom of enterprise, making money, and so on. But yeah, I just want to help people.
I'd had a link in the chat in my comments and such before, because people had suggested, oh well, you ought to have. And don't get me wrong, I didn't mind people sending me, a little bit here and there. It came in handy, particularly when I was spending it all on medical supplies. So it's like, okay, sure, why not? And it's gotten to the point, it's like, I don't need the medical supplies. So, yeah, well, I'm just going to stop.
Well, you see, what I've found is if a live streamer can't think of what to talk about, but they're planning on, streaming, having a show, that is the best time to invite people on. If you've got a set schedule of things you want to talk about, or if you have a guest, that's when there is a viewer-creator separation. But people are always welcome if I ever plan on being a live streamer. Not in the foreseeable future, maybe next year. Hopefully we can get to 1,000 so we can have exciting announcements. But yeah, that's the policy. When we've got nothing to talk about, you're allowed on. Because the show must go on in one form or another.
I have a feeling you're going to get to 1,000 before I am, which I'm looking forward to seeing.
Well, again, perspective. 1,000 for a creator. It's not the same as 1,000 for a live streamer. It's also not the same for 1,000 for a shorts video maker. I mean, if you get a viral video or two, you can get to 1,000 as a shorts maker in no time. Happened to a friend of mine with his dog. Oh dear, silence.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. And I do want to say hello to everybody who I haven't said good morning to, or good afternoon to, or whatever.
Here's a challenge for you folks. If you want to be a creator, try to get all your products that are not made in China. Can't do it. Everything's literally made in China. Oh no. No
that
laughing.
Would be difficult. Oh, trust me, I'm laughing. Oh my God, that would be. Oh, it's so sad though. It's true.
Yeah, this is what happens when you give all of your industry to a nation that since 1949 has hated your guts, because that's when China became a communist nation. Ooh, 10 people are watching, according to YouTube, which is completely and utterly accurate at all times.
Oh yeah, that's so accurate. Yeah, because on this side it's 11, on YouTube it's 10. I don't know what it is on because there have been times I've seen literally 0 people in the chat, and there are people chatting. It's like,
Well,
this
at least
count
you
is
have
like
females. At least you have females in your audience. According to my statistics recently, no women have been watching. Boy, I wonder why. I'm not exactly the most attractive male.
let me put it to you this way: the video, the live stream is going to show that 0 women have watched, even though we've had 2 women in the chat this morning.
The algorithm is sexist. The algorithm. There's your blooper. The algorithm is sexist, folks. We have a weapon against the enemy. Oh, yes. I said this backstage. I watched the Orville recently, folks, and clearly, season 1 and 2 were made by Fox, and New Horizons, which is season 3, was made by Disney. Because I said this to Captain backstage. With Disney Plus shows, it's like they tried to take a movie and a TV series and just jam them together in, I don't know, 6 episodes, 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And for me, that just seems like you're trying to win both crowds, but neither are accepting your stories. And that's if it isn't full of political correctness, social justice, and identity politics. The 3 tenets in what we like to call woke ideology. What is woke? It's political correctness, social justice, and identity politics put together like this. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I used a hateful symbol. If you want to tell someone who believes in progressive politics what woke is, just say, well, it's political correctness, social justice, and identity politics, and it creates woke ideology. That'll piss them off. Hopefully.
Hopefully somebody's able to clip that and make it its own video.
I tried clipping things, but I don't know how to do it. Although it does say on YouTube clip. I did that and created a clip, but it didn't really work properly. Anyway, there's a little tidbit for you. The Orville
there's software out there.
Yes.
Does that. Anyhow, you were saying the Orville.
The Orville, to me, the Orville, apart from a few issues with certain episodes, the Orville to me is a good show. Mm-hmm. There was only one episode I didn't like in season 1. That was Majority Rule. I mean, the way those aliens were treating that black man, Captain, talk about racism, would never be accepted in our society. I didn't really have much of a problem with season 2, but there was one episode I really didn't like in season 3 where Gordon has to go back home and ultimately kill his family because he got trapped in time. Basically, what's the problem, Gordon? Come on, let's go home. Abandon your new family and your kid. Or was it kid? One of the two. And it's like,
kids. Yeah.
It's like swing and a miss, folks. You can tell certain parts were Disney-fied. You know, like, what's her name? She got killed in season 3. Charlie! Christ, if that wasn't a damn Disney insert, although the actress is a fine woman. In my view, Charlie, who ended up sacrificing herself to save the Kalon, felt like a Disney insert. Although her character arc was actually quite a good one. At the start, it was just radiating hateful woman. Although her lady friend and possible girlfriend was killed during the Battle for Earth. Oh, look, Gorilla's here. Hello, folks.
Good morning, gorillas. I should say good morning to everybody.
Yes, you're all fine people. Gorilla's done quite well as a creator. I told you you'd be a rising star. And to all of you watching, I thank you all for being here. I thank you for supporting Captain Fandom Nerd as well as myself. And hopefully we can all keep on going and keep on growing. And there's a hair in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Good morning, Mr. CCDV. Good morning, Joker Voice. Good afternoon, Dr. Alex. Let's see here. And of course, I have you in the chat. Mega Cropper, good morning. Oh, I hate when I hear the good morning, Eagle Rider. Good morning, Janet from another planet. So we got two women right there.
Yes. We need more women.
Would be. I've got others that listen on the replay. So
yes, yes. I think you actually do. If you analyze the live viewership with your replay viewership, this is according to YouTube, so the statistics might be wrong. You do quite well on the replays, Cap.
Actually, yeah, I do. I'm surprised by that.
Well, that's because I think most of your audience is American, and it's very early in the United States. I mean, I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to prepare for this show because I had to go out early. I'm usually back home by 1:30, and then I watch Loki's show, mostly on Wednesdays because all the other days I have videos to make. But yeah, schedules, jeez. But
I definitely make sure to watch on Wednesday.
Well, since late May, folks, I have to admit, Captain has been, what's the word? Stagnating. Because in all honesty, folks, he doesn't know what to do. Some shows are great. Some shows we've got to cut out after half an hour because he can't think of anything to talk about. That's why we need people such as yourself, whether it's myself as a guest or Janet or Eagle Rider or Mr. CCDV. I forgot what that means because it's an abbreviation. Other people as well. Gorilla's Random Thoughts. He's invited me onto his show. Very grateful for that. But when a fellow creator is struggling, the best thing we can do to support them is to listen and to give them topics and ideas and to talk. Because I could just pull up Twitter and find a story right now. Let me just get rid of my messages so you can't see them. Oh, wait, the screen's not shared, so it's not a problem. But I was thinking if I ever did a show, I'd just share my Twitter screen and see what's happening, such as all the Halo games made. That's what I'm seeing on my screen. You guys can't see it. And then I talk about all the Halo games and which ones were great, such as the first 3, and which ones were awful, like Halo 5, the Last Jedi of Halo. And I'm not a Halo fan. To my knowledge, I don't think I've played a Halo game. But I know others who have, and I can look at reviews, and I can give my thoughts on it. It's like when I was a guest of Pops with Loki and later with Ironcaster. I ended up getting replaced because my signal was not strong enough. We were talking about Halo. I didn't watch a single episode of Halo. I was judging the show by what I was seeing, and I could see it was crap, made by crap, for crap, which is most shows. That's why the Orville is a bright spot. But folks, it's Disney. If it gets renewed, and that's an if, it's gonna go downhill at some stage, unfortunately. At least in my view. I say that a lot. What's the point of anything? Life shall prevail, Eagle Rider. Keep on going, because the alternative is far worse. Listen to some Sabaton. That'll make you feel better. Feels like I'm hijacking the show.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. You are the guest today, so it is.
Why don't I just take that morning brew, grab it, and then put it on my face? Because, folks, here's a secret for you. If you can see this instead of the StreamYard ducky, it means he's paying for it. So he can do it every day, and not when his 20 hours are up, he's got to go and do something else, like make a video or force his cat to dance for a YouTube short, and then get criticized.
Trust me, if I had a cat, I would be making it dance. Cat or dog,
And then he gets into full of controversy because he has to electrocute it to get it to dance. He gets loads of dislikes, and then he gets canceled. That'd be a good story.
Yeah, being cruel to animals is not my thing.
No, it's very bad. But I really do like offensive comedy. That's why I try to stay away from it publicly, so I don't laugh my head off at something very, very cruel or offensive. Like recently with Ryan Kinnell, when he talked about George Floyd. It's like, I can understand why so many people are criticizing him for it from the perspective of the mind. Mm-hmm. But as someone who loves offensive comedy, I could not help but laugh privately. Not publicly, privately. Why? Because I don't want to be canceled. I'm not Ryan Kinnell. I'm Ryan Roger Athay. I think I would be easily cancelable.
Absolutely. As would we all.
And that's why, unfortunately, folks, people have to self-censor. I mean, every time I have been confident and, very forward in my approach, Captain, it's very rare, but when I'm in too good a mood, I can't help it. I've always ended up being disadvantaged as a result. That's why I prefer to be formal and very kind and considerate, because I don't want to step on anybody's toes or get canceled by the mob.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. It is a shame, but that's the way it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're right. It does tend to be that way. But, you do come across more formal. And I like that.
Despite the fact that I put on a shirt that has bleach on it. Actually, earlier today, Captain, there was this big black bug. I don't think it was a mosquito, because I live in the UK. I don't think we get them. But when it was flying about and it landed on the wall, I got some bleach and bleached it. But then I couldn't find it, so I presume it's dead. But if it does fly around, I'm going to embarrass myself by not screaming, but shouting, a bug. And then I get my, this isn't bleach, this is a Sif Clean Boost Power and Shine. Oh, look, product placement. And I just spray it with some of that and hopefully get rid of it. But, that was a blooper. And if that was shown publicly, folks, say on a wall camera, I'd probably get laughed at. But, yeah. Here we go.
Now, see, if that product were available here, it'd be like, hey, I could everybody go out and buy this stuff because it's wonderful.
Well, this is actually how big is it? 700 milliliters, which is nearly a liter which is 2 pints. So it's probably a pint and a half of bathroom cleaner.
Right.
See, and you could make this into a video, folks. You could do a review of cleaning product and hopefully get a few views. Maybe a like or two. You never know. But that's an example if you're struggling to find something to talk about. Because I've talked about loads of things from dead people, gone but not forgotten, which we honor creators and celebrities who are no longer with us, fellow creators who are on the rise, rising stars, ideas from the audience, folks such as yourself, suggestion videos. So I talk about loads of things from what was it? From capybaras to Piers Morgan, from Donald Trump to Liz Cheney, and from, what else have I talked about? From Tyrone Magnus to Royce Lopez. I've talked about loads of folks so far. Recently passed 1,000 videos, Captain. And it's just the beginning. I'm not going to be like DSP and cut up videos to make, or live streams to make hundreds of videos. I'm not a money grabber. So you're not going to get 60,000 videos. That's how many he has made on his YouTube channel.
Wow.
But you are going to get thousands of videos, potentially, of me speaking my mind on a wide variety of topics. And hopefully you will enjoy them. And hopefully I do not get cancelled or ghosted by fellow creators. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Well, see, that's one thing you could do, is you could do a live stream, as you were talking about.
Yeah.
And, cut it up, but not necessarily, only taking the best parts of it and then putting it on a different channel.
Yeah. Morning Brew best bits.
Well, see, I have something, and it's I'm trying to remember what I had it called. I haven't used it, so it's something along that same line where it's basically just the select bits of whatever the best of morning brew type of thing.
Sorry, folks, I'm going Chinese for a little bit because I'm rubbing my glasses. Is that offensive? I don't know. There we go. I'm now Western again.
I'm sure it's offensive to some people because they get offended easily.
Oh, without YouTube, without StreamYard, without mainstream social media, we wouldn't have these platforms. But we make these platforms. We are the vast majority of these channels on these platforms. The very people who made YouTube and Twitter, bloody garbage site, and other platforms as well. We made them. Without us, they would not exist. And in my view, YouTube especially wants to get rid of the very people that made it financially profitable. People like us, ordinary people. And it's such a shame, Captain, because if YouTube did what it did in its founding years and supported creators, or at the very least not getting rid of people en masse, it could be a business for millions. And it could support so many lives, as we move away from industry, hard labor, to services and technology, which is more mental labor. Because, make a video, lighting, software. Someone has to make the software. Someone has to make the lights. Data storage so that all the videos can be on the platform. So old jobs go and new jobs replace old jobs. But now we have machines algorithms taking the jobs of potentially hundreds of thousands of people because sites like YouTube and Twitter and others just don't want to employ people. So annoying. Excuse me, I have to cough up phlegm, so I'm muting now.
No problem. It's always good to be able to just mute and get things that you have to do taken care of.
I've already done the button up my shirt joke because there's no button down here.
Yes.
Hopefully, Captain, you can bring on future guests. Doesn't matter if they're big creators or small. I'm sure Gorilla would be willing to be a guest. Mr. CCDV, Janet from Another Planet, Eagle Rider, Ken Jacobin, other people who I cannot see because I'm blind as a bat, even with glasses. And you can basically talk, and hopefully the audiences come together and both sides can grow. That's the hope. And if you can't think of anything, just share the screen, go on Twitter, find something and talk about it. I mean, I could do that. I could do that right now. I can go onto Twitter, open up a tab, go onto Twitter, which is crap, as I said before. And I don't think I've done this before, sharing a screen. Share screen. Oh, don't show me those tips, damn it. Twitter, yes. And share. There we go.
And add stream.
Bloody way of the world. He's a creator I follow. Very controversial. This poor man, Captain, he's an 87-year-old who was stabbed to death in London. While he was on his mobility scooter in broad daylight. It's such a shame. Because London, Captain, and for the audience, London was a very peaceful and prosperous place in the UK before it became all financially based and a multicultural hellhole. But before that, it was a very peaceful place. Most of the problems in the UK were actually in the northwest, Liverpool, Manchester, a lot of crime there. Less now, but still there. And this man's unfortunate murder, not death, murder, is basically, it describes what London is in 2022. A hellhole, like most cities in the Western world. I mean, it's a stabbing, but for Chicago, it would be a shooting. For Los Angeles, it would probably be a mugging. And it's just sad. 87, rest in peace. And you can move on to another story. I don't know what that was about. And then you got this long post, whatever the hell that means. A Netflix show called Wednesday.
Oh, yes. That's the Addams Family.
Everything Netflix turns to shit. But you could just, if you can't think of anything to talk about, folks, you can just go on Twitter and see what's going on. Oh, look, there's Alex Stein with a Latino gentleman. Or is it Latinx? I don't know how to pronounce it.
No,
Here's a Sainsbury's advert for you folks. Oh, look, Houston. He drops a screw in zero gravity. Is this technically reused content? I don't know, folks. I'm just a guest. Oh, look.
Technically, yeah.
Oh, look, it's an invasion. Is this the United States or the United Kingdom? It is a beach. Oh, wait, that's a river. So it's probably the United States, and that is the Rio Grande.
Ah.
So, yes, these are the people coming into your country. They all look like men, maybe a few women. Why the fuck are they wearing masks? Oh, look, there's a child. Yeah. Your country's being invaded. Build a wall. Build a dam. Build something. But yeah, I've stopped sharing the screen, and you can actually, that's what you could do if you're running out of things to talk about. Because sometimes that does happen to Captain Trek. None of this is planned. It's all spontaneous.
The funny thing is, I prefer the spontaneity of it.
Yes, that's quite good. But the downside is silence.
That's the enemy. Is silence.
But people are talking. Latino, no Latinx. Thank you, Tim. Yes, that's true, Ken. Oh, Keely Chow is in the chat. Hello.
Yes, he is.
Thank you for all your suggestions in these many months, as well as from you, Gorilla. Wonderful to get suggestions from people. Excuse me, I'm about to burp. Oh my. I've recently eaten, so that is the problem. But Twitter does have its uses. You can see all the crazy stuff happening. Some of it is hopeful. Most of it is not, such as the old man and the foreign invasion, because that's what it is. I'll never be allowed on CNN for saying that. Although I have been on British television, I didn't really look much different. This was some time ago. But, yeah. If you've run out of things to talk about, go on Twitter. Oh, dear.
That's always an option, and that's one I've actually considered doing.
Oh, look.
Wow.
A little toy here. Hello, folks. I found this while I was looking for stuff. It's a little pink dolphin when I was a kid. I don't like letting go of things. Anything happen?
6 is in the chat, of course. We've got 3 women in the chat.
Yay, women! If anyone calls us sexist, we can just say, no. Women! They're over here. Look, no, not there. That way. They're in the chat. But yes, I was about to say, anything good happen recently, Cap? Kids haven't been giving you headaches, have they?
Oh, the kids are going back to school next week, thank God.
Oh, right. Lots of screaming children early in the morning, folks. It's terrible for Cap because he's trying to do a show and they're bloody kicking footballs inside the house, breaking windows. Then Cap has to go and then mute because he can't publicly do it. He has to mute. If he did not mute, it would probably be entertaining, but it could get him into trouble with the CPS. So he has to mute and then shout at his children for being little dicks. Then he has to come back and then unmute and then do the show for about 15 more minutes. And because they never learn, they do it again. And then by the time the show ends, the kids are off to school, and Cap has to get on with his daily routine, work, other things. And then the cycle repeats, like a washing machine. My schedule, though, folks, it depends. If I'm tired, because I was tired yesterday, I decided not to do the final video, which is my thoughts on Houston, courtesy of Keely Chow, and decided to do it today as one of 2 videos for today. I'm not pushing myself because I was going to be on this show. But yeah, that's the schedule. I hope you all enjoy. I hope you watch, because we do like viewership.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, if one of the mods would be so kind to just put in Ryan Roger Athe's channel, I would love that.
I think they have. It's very kind of them. Wonderful.
Chow did.
I mean, it's not just creators. You make a good point, Cap, about mods, because mods are wonderful for a channel to make sure you don't get invaded by sex bots and trolls, or as I like to call them, piss takers, and their like. Without those people, one in particular, Chris Persia, without people like Chris and Six and Keeley and all the other people who are mods, this channel would not be where it is today.
No.
And it helps for participation. So you've got to be
Absolutely.
careful. You've got to be careful you don't get a sea of blue. That can happen, but it really depends on the creator at the end of the day. There we go.
I mean, we've got some people in the chat that aren't mods, so that's one of the good things. Yes, there's been kind of a sea of blue here and there, but I like having people who are both ones that are mods and ones who are not.
It's just that I prefer things structured, folks. So if this were my show, not that it ever will be, but if this were Morning Brew with Ryan Roger Athe, you'd have the time, which would be later. It would actually be probably be afternoon brew, not coffee, tea. Probably go on for an hour and a half. We talk about certain topics that I'm interested in. Then we talk about topics that the audience is interested in, and if they like, they can come on and talk about it. I use StreamYards for free, so it's probably only going to be 6 people. And then once all that's done with the audience topics, if we have the time, we go on to Twitter and see what's going on and not comment, but talk about people's posts. Yes. Posts. And then talk about that. And if we've run out of time after an hour and a half, we don't do that. But you always try to get my point of view and then the audience's point of view. Maybe have a guest on, a special guest, fellow creator, and go from there. But it's not my channel, not my decision.
This is true.
And I know, Captain, you have a busy schedule. It's hard to, update shows with, say, Morning Brew, the date, special guest, Ryan Roger Athe, or say tomorrow, hypothetically, Morning Brew, 19th of August. What day is it? Yeah, 19th of August. It would be a Friday show with special guest, I don't know, Keely Chow. I'm just shouting that out there. Not that that is going to happen. It might. Then again, it might not. But that's
nice to get Keely Chow on. It
would
be nice to get Keely Chow.
Be nice to see his face. It's nice to see if he really exists and isn't a secret bot, an intelligent secret bot. Because I asked him this: are you male or female? Because I wanted to make sure I got the pronouns of the person who suggested my video right.
Right.
Because during one of my Rising Stars videos for Bikini Drawers, I didn't know at the time whether he was a man or a woman. And when I watched some of his shows and he spoke, I still didn't know whether he was a man or a woman. And thankfully I found out before I made the video he was a man, so I could say he. And because you don't want to get it wrong, do you?
No.
What a bad first impression. But it's about getting the little things right. And if you don't have a lot of time, it's hard to put little add-ons for videos into the titles, which is a shame. But
and Tim Hayes says something in the chat that McKinney is a black dude, and that's a funny thing when you're.
I didn't know that either.
When you're just listening to what he's sounding like, it's like I wouldn't know what his racial profile is, because it's just a guy that you're listening to. Then you see him draw, and it's like, oh, okay, he's black. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, up until, say, the 2010s, from the 1960s until the 2010s, folks, Western world tried to push equality, which is perfectly fine, to try and make all people equal in terms of representation and human rights, which is a perfectly fine concept to have. Now, though, since the 2010s, the Western world has been pursuing something called equity, which is basically accepting there are differences between people and that certain people need extra support. These people try to tie themselves into a knot by saying we're pursuing equality and equity, despite the fact that equity causes inequality. So it causes a contradiction. So it's a shame, because it makes certain people victims and certain people oppressors. And that's the kind of world we're living in now. Excuse me, I'm just scratching my foot. I try to be serious, folks, but for some reason, just doing simple things brings out a laugh, like doing my hair or rubbing my glasses and because my face looks Chinese, or scratching my foot. I don't know why.
Oh, my. But no, I do want to thank you for being on today.
Sure. I love being a guest. People invite me on when they haven't got anyone else as a special guest.
This is not true. In fact, I'm going to be talking to you more about coming on more regularly. We'll find a time that you can come on.
I'm going to have to write down what I'm going to talk about, because I'm not usually good at ad-libbing.
That's no problem.
Or I'll just show you what's going on Twitter.
Oh my. But if one of the mods would please put in the chat the link to Loki's Mornings of Mischief today, I would appreciate that.
Thursday, yes. I only really catch his Wednesday shows now, unfortunately, because of I've said this before, because of scheduling. But since I'm only doing 2 videos, I might as well go and watch while combing my hair again, because my beard is loose. Yeah, the camera is far kinder to me than the mirror, folks. I mean,
as unfortunately, that's the case with all of us. The camera can be a little kinder than.
I'm also surprised how big my nose is. I never noticed how big my nose is.
It's not that big. Could be worse. But no, thank you for joining me. And I do want to thank everybody who's been in the chat. I'm sorry I haven't been reading a chat this morning. I'll get back to that tomorrow. And thank you for joining me today. Have a great day.